Who was the most powerful king? Was it Genghis Khan, who built an empire larger than any other in history? Or maybe it was Alexander the Great, who at one point ruled over half the known world. But there's one king that trumps them all. His name was Solomon. You see, Solomon wasn't just any king, and he had something that no other ruler has ever had, and that was the favor of God himself. When God appeared to Solomon, he asked him what he wanted, and Solomon could have asked for riches, power, or land, but instead he asked for wisdom to govern his people. And God was so pleased with his request that not only did he grant it, but he also gave him everything he asked for as well. So at the height of his power, Solomon was the richest man in the world, with more gold than all the kings of Arabia. He also had the most powerful army in the world, with 320,000 men who were trained in war. And he had the biggest kingdom in the world, stretching from Egypt to the Euphrates River. So with all this power, you would think that Solomon would have been satisfied, but he wasn't. You see, Solomon had a problem. It says in the Bible that he loved women more than anything, and he had so many of them that he built a palace to house them all. But even with all these women, he still wasn't satisfied. And this is where things get really messed up. One day, while walking around his palace, Solomon saw a woman who caught his eye. Her name was Naamah, and she was unlike any woman he had ever seen before. She was beautiful, and he wanted her more than anything. But the problem was that she was already married. But this didn't stop Solomon. You see, he was the king, and if he wanted something, he just took it. He had Naamah brought before him and told her that she was going to be his wife. Now she resisted him at first, but when she realized that it was no use, she gave up and became Solomon's wife. But this caused a huge rift between Solomon and God. You see, God had given Solomon everything he had asked for, but he had broken the one rule that God had given him, and that was to stay away from other gods. For when Solomon had Naamah brought before him, she brought with her an idol that she worshipped, and this caused Solomon to sin. For the first time in his life, he prayed to this idol instead of the true God, and God was very angry. In fact, he was so angry that he came to Solomon in a dream and told him that he was going to take away everything he had given him. And he did. He took away his riches, his power, and his kingdom. And when Solomon died, he left behind a legacy of sin and shame, for his love of women had led him astray and caused him to fall from grace. So who was the most powerful king of all time? It was King Solomon, because even though he lost everything in the end, at one point he had the favor of God, and that made him the most powerful king in the world.